Hey everybody and welcome to Past Chat. I am your host Gina Parker. I am here with my co-host Sadie Teel.
What's up?
Sadie, what are you into this week?
What am I into? You talked to me about Sinners before. I
Right.
finally watched it and I thought it was amazing. The music is so incredible. Like
Mm-hmm.
Michael B. Jordan being both characters, like they did it so seamlessly. I was
Mm-hmm.
very, very impressed with it.
Oh
And
yeah,
just like,
always tossing back and forth to each other
yes,
himself.
like exactly. I never saw like any kind of indicator that they were not actually twins, which I thought was very impressive. And then also just like the whole story, it like lent itself so well to the horror themes of it, which yeah,
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend. But yeah, what are you been into?
Yeah, that was an interesting one of, using the vampire concept of like and incorporating racism and
It makes
cultural
so much
stuff.
sense. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very impactful and like beautifully directed. I definitely would see any project. I would see
Uh,
anything that Ryan Coogler did.
um, and there was two post-credit scenes. Did you catch both of them?
Yes, amazing.
Mm.
Very good.
I watched the Marvel Thunderbolts movie. Have you seen that one?
I've seen advertisements for it, but I have not seen the movie. How was it?
It was interesting. It's about depression.
Interesting. Like, in what way?
It's about depression and mental illness. Basically, the premise is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's the Countess,
Mhm.
and she has been trying to create her own super soldiers, like Steve Rogers,
Hmm.
and the only one that has successfully turned out has depression and mental illness and a history of abuse, and he's the one who has all the superpowers. And so they're trying to stop him by getting him the mental health interventions he needs.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like,
Like,
oh,
what is the angle of the movie? Does it have like any kind of self-awareness on that or?
I mean, they call it out straight up. Like, why is this guy the one who got superpowers given his history? Like, he's like a recovered drug addict and all this
Hmm.
stuff. And then, his superpowers start emerging and, he's not in his right mind. And so it's the trying to fight him, but also trying to save him from himself to save everyone from him. I think it gets a little muddled personally
Uh-huh.
to make the person with the mental health issues the bad guy, but they're also like
Yeah.
trying to save him from himself.
Yeah, seems
So
like a delicate balance. And are you saying they did not strike that balance?
I think it was muddled. I think it was
Muddled.
a little
Okay.
muddled for me, but I mean,
Hmm.
you can watch it and let me know. I don't know if you're into the Marvel movies.
I'll see it
Uh,
once it's out of theaters. I'm not super into the Marvel movies. I just like it feels, you know the whole thing with Marvel where they pre-render fight scenes that they then deliver to writers to incorporate into movies where it's like, oh, we have this fight scene that includes all these heroes. That gives like so little chance for putting any sort of like pathos into those fights and like giving any sort of leeway to the writer. And I think it really affects it. Like, because if I'm seeing a superhero movie, I want there to be good action. And I really think with Marvel, the action is so disconnected from the plot. And it's because of that like weird factory line setup they have.
and I'm sure that's what happened in this movie as well, but it also wasn't what I felt like a ton of action. Like it wasn't what I was expecting from
Hmm.
the movie. And I don't know if that colored my opinion negatively at all, but like
Yeah.
it's different. It's a different one. I don't think it's one you need to see in the theaters. I think
Okay.
watching it on your TV will be fine. I don't think you're missing anything from I don't think there's like a big like set piece action scene that I would be
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I would have loved to see this
See,
in theaters."
because I've talked to a friend about this, and like if I'm seeing an action movie, she kind of said like, oh, once the fight scene starts, I'm out of the theater, and I am there for the fight scene. Like when it comes to the action movies that I most fondly remember, a lot of it is those big like action set pieces and stuff, and like getting into like martial arts films and things like that. And I think It can't be a an afterthought in an action movie for me. Otherwise, it like kind of sours me on it. And
Yeah,
CG choreography doesn't really do it for me.
yeah. Yeah, so it's fine. Like if you want to see it, I think it's more interesting as like a talking piece than a movie.
Yeah.
It's not Sinners, I don't think. But
Yes, Sinners is highly recommend from both of us.
it did get great ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe because they're the Marvel movie, I mean,
Hmm.
because it was about mental health issues.
Mm.
I'm not sure how I felt about it. I think there's like a few different ways you could take that movie.
Yeah, and I could see the narrative being kind of not yeah. I'll watch it at some point. Not while it's in theaters, but I'll see it when it's out.
Right. Let's get into these soaps, shall we?
Soaps, yes.
So we're talking about All My Children the week of July 8th, 1985. And so things go from bad to worse for our friend Nina after she tried to shoot up that wedding in the
No.
last episode. So she's been hospitalized, which is nice.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, it's not great, but it's, better than being on the run.
Yes.
And her family is essentially like, she's just gonna bounce back from this. She's gonna walk it off, bounce back from that,
Hmm.
what she did, but she's not quite all there. So she asked to see, let's see if I can. She asked to see Benny and Donna after trying to shoot up their wedding to like apologize. And when she's with them, she hallucinates that it's Zach Grayson and tries to kill them again. And so that's not great. And then
Yeah.
she's not doing great and she becomes catatonic. And Cliff is like, oh, I guess I have to institutionalize her now because of that. So he's getting ready to do that. Her family won't accept that she's not doing so great.
Yeah, it seems like a rough time.
Yeah, things not going well for her.
Mm-mm.
Then we have, he's
I like
one of
this
the,
like weird, what is this like sci-fi scenario I'm seeing here? This like dream
it,
sequence.
well, this is a
Oh, the
flashback to the
monks.
monks'
Okay.
temple.
There's something
And
about like the 80s or 80s monks that looks sci-fi to me.
yeah, I could see that. It's like Battlestar Galactica vibes, like the
Yeah.
original.
Hmm.
Uh, and so Jimmy Smits is one of the monks,
Wow, nice.
which I just wanted to bring
What
up
a
because I
reveal.
what happened was Erica was planning to release her magazine, as you do, and like Jill has finally climbed the Chandler building. Things are like, oh great, I can release my magazine, big publicity, whatnot. They were gonna release the magazine. There was a strike at the magazine printers, and so Erica couldn't release her magazine on time. Brooke assumed she would, so Brooke released her TV interview, and then Erica's like, "You stole my scoop. You've always hated me. You're out to get me, blah, blah, blah." Meanwhile, Gilles rents a plane and drops apology notes over Erica's house to get her to forgive him.
What the heck? Apology notes like I don't know how likely is that to actually land where it's intended to land.
But he did a bunch of them, so hopefully one of them would
Oh,
get to her.
thanks for all the trash. Great. I gotta go clean up all these friggin' letters, and now my neighbors are pissed.
Yeah, especially because it seemed like the plane was flying kind of low because they could hear
Yeah,
it, you know,
terrifying.
because
Yeah,
those are all the notes flying at
that's
them.
horrific. Never do that. That looks scary.
Mhm. Well, she loved it. She loves a big
Okay, yeah,
gesture.
the drama. I get it.
And so Erica had this plan where she's trying to get her friends Ross and Ellen back together. And so she got Jeremy to help her. They're going to trap them in a wine cellar to make them remember they're in love,
Oh, that,
because
yeah, a hostage situation.
I know.
That
Yeah,
definitely
you know
brings
what makes
people
me think of
together.
love being trapped? Like,
Yeah. Help, get me out of here. Yeah, great.
but in classic soap opera fashion, it goes terribly wrong. It ends like both Ross and Ellen have emergencies and can't make it, and they don't know that there's some kind of romance sex trap happening. So they don't even bother, I mean, I think they call to cancel with Erica's office, but it's a time before cell phones, so they don't get the message. And so Erica and Jeremy end up trapped in the wine cellar.
Oh no. So now they're the ones that are gonna fall in love.
And so that's why we have the flashback of Jimmy Smits, because Jimmy Smits was like, "Hey, Jeremy, are you sure you will never want to sleep with a woman ever again? Because you're about to take your vow of celibacy here with us." And he's like, "Never. There's no woman on earth who could tempt me." And then
Well,
there's
he
Erica.
he hasn't spent a lot of time with Erica. She can turn anyone.
hmm and he tells her the story of his love that he lost, who is Natalie. For
Hmm.
those fans out there, it's Natalie he's talking about, but he doesn't say it's Natalie. So he and Erica are trapped in this situation. Erica accuses him of trapping her here on purpose, and he's like, "It was your idea. I didn't know your friends wouldn't show up." And then she wakes up in the middle of the night and sees him and accuses him of raping her in the night. And
Yeah,
he
this ain't
takes
going well.
he takes that well, better than I think a lot of men would. Maybe it's the monk training, but he's like, "Ma'am, I didn't rape you. Like, you like, I didn't drug you at any point. We just fell asleep here." And so she decides to forgive him and or apologize and say like, "Sorry, I accused you
Oh,
of
my
rape."
bad.
Uh,
We've all been there. Just kidding.
yeah. And so eventually Adam comes and rescues Erica because he's making her do an interview. And but he thinks she and Jeremy slept together or something, and they didn't.
Hmm.
They
So
were
he's still
just
on track for the monkhood.
hmm
Not too much temptation for him.
I mean, the temptation's there. Nothing's happened
Nothing's
with it,
happening. Okay.
but it's nice to see Jimmy Smits.
Hmm.
And then our last one is, we were talking about the Bob and Hillary marriage.
Hmm.
So Hillary lied that she was pregnant to cheer up Bob about dying.
And then Bob turned out not to be dying and now is expecting a baby.
Right. So she's very upset to find out he's not dying, but also like
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
for him. But now it's like, oops, I'm trapped in a lie. So,
Well, and like she
uh,
doesn't even really like him, right? It's like not only the baby was a concession, but the marriage was too. Like
yeah,
hoping, not hoping, but like being like, I guess I'll throw him a bone.
yeah, exactly. Because she's really in love with Tad. And so she and her aunt are talking about it, and they're basically like, okay, so now the play is, now that he's admitted he's not dying, I'm gonna say I had a miscarriage.
The classic soap solution.
And she feels guilty about the lying, but you
Yeah.
know, it's she's got to get out of her other lies. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
she's
how
not
it
gonna
always
have a
is.
baby. So yeah, you're digging yourself so deep.
Have you ever been in a situation where you just dug yourself in deeper?
Yeah. Yes. I just like think I was honestly generally kind of like a liar kid, like a no, I didn't, like kind of like a giving crazy excuses. Getting through the liar kid phase, I think that was a great move because the truth is, once you start lying, it's really hard. Here's the other thing I want to say though. You can always lie when it comes to work, and that's
Uh,
my only moral take. Always. Not always. Okay. When it comes to not wanting to go, you can say you're sick.
I love that's the moral takeaway. It's
Hmm.
sounds great.
I've eliminated it from other areas, but never for work.
Winners and losers?
Hmm. Winner. My winner for the week is going to be Jeremy, the monk, because he did. He kept to his monk vow under like circumstances where I wouldn't have blamed him if he slipped up a little. He's got Erica in front of him, you know? But
Very true.
he stayed strong. And then loser of the week. Honestly, I guess I'll say Erica because maybe she wanted there to be a situation and there wasn't.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah, and I mean she was trapped in a wine cellar.
And
That's
that is kind of disappointing. She was expecting like a whole like dinner with friends and stuff, right? And then
yeah,
she gets stuck overnight with a guy who's like a monk.
yeah. One of the comments on the episode was like, was there a bathroom in the wine cell? Which is another thing.
Definitely
Like,
not.
hard to know.
Hmm.
Uh my winner of the week, I guess, oof, this is hard. Mm, Jimmy Smits for being a secret monk. I just love a secret monk. And, they just keep popping up on this show. I love it.
Hmm.
And my loser will be, I think, Donna and Benny for being attacked by Nina for a second time. Yeah, they tried to come and get their apology and they were attacked a second time. So,
Yeah,
uh,
that's pretty bad.
but that's it. Please like, subscribe, comment,
Yes,
subscribe on Patreon. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say we love you. We love you, fans. Every
We do
single
love you,
listener
fans.
deeply,
We love you deeply.
deeply.
Well,
Well,
bye.
bye.
Thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.